Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I.
Oh my God, look at her.
I keep mine in here.
Oh,
For later.
Aww. Wow.
The party is about to start, Your Majesty.
happy Jubilee, ma'am. And thank you
Honestly,
for
thank you.
everything.
Thank you for everything.
That's
honestly.
very kind.
This woman has no idea what she's doing. How much impact she has around the whole world. Man, best grandma ever.
Evening. It was a once-in-a-lifetime celebration of the Queen's 70-year reign. And while Her Majesty wasn't able to attend her own party, she still stole the show with a heartwarming sketch. The world's biggest stars performed under a stunning light display at Buckingham Palace as her son and future king delivered a deeply personal tribute. Ellie Walsh begins our coverage.
To celebrate a record-breaking reign. First on stage, who else but Queen?
Of course. Or what is left of Queen, right?
Prince Charles and Camilla, William and Kate and two of the Cambridge children had taken their seats in the royal box.
It looks like his father.
Tens of thousands had packed the mall, and inside Buckingham Palace, a tea party for two.
Oh, this
Thank
is the
you
video.
for having me.
Aww.
I do hope you're having a lovely Jubilee.
Tea?
Oh, yes, please.
This was the woman they all wanted to see, Her Majesty in a skit with another British icon.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
Paddington Bear speaking for everyone.
Thank you for everything.
A monarch still in charge of the show.
Thank you, Big Bang.
Which quickly became a roll call of some of the world's biggest acts.
Oh my God, this is happening now!
A little prince proving he was up with the classics.
He's singing!
The famous Royal Avenue leading up to the palace full of people, a sea of flags in red, white and blue.
With 10,000 people receiving free tickets in a public ballot watching from the stands, tens of thousands more have packed the Mall and surrounding parks. Out here,
People forgot that Corona exists.
the tickets were free. Everyone was invited to party.
Even people with Corona.
What does it feel like to be here?
It's amazing, yeah.
Singers and performers from an international fraternity of nations giving thanks for 70 years of service.
Wow.
I hope you don't mind.
I hope you don't mind that I put down in words.
How
Wonder.
life is while you're in the world.
Oh my God.
From every
Hope you
corner of
don't
the globe,
mind.
Italian tenor
It's my
Andre
favorite
Bocelli.
song from Moulin Rouge. Oh, damn. Okay. There is no way to imitate this voice.
Alicia Keys bathing Buckingham
Alicia,
Palace in
let's
orange.
go.
This girl is on fire.
She always plays this song. Always.
Is on fire.
Duran Duran with a nod to British fashion. And two
Man, this is
musical
so fun.
legends brought the best of the West End.
Oh, Phantom of the Opera. Oh my God, I love this
Messages
movie.
from those
I
who
have never seen the
call Her
musical.
Majesty friend.
I love you like many other people.
Your genuine warmth to our entire family.
A wholehearted thank you, ma'am.
including one of her contemporaries, also 96, David Attenborough,
being her.
shifting the focus.
Oh my God.
The decisions we make today.
Everyone loves
could
her.
lead
There is no
to a
person that
brighter
I don't
future.
believe there is
Prince
a person
William
who
using
like
his
everyone loves
speech
her.
to highlight the need to protect the planet.
As the Queen celebrates her Platinum Jubilee, the pressing need to protect and restore our planet has never been more urgent.
A night of many emotions, the main ones, respect
And her son is so
gratitude.
old now.
Your
it's
Majesty,
unbelievable.
Mummy,
Mummy.
As the Prince of Wales spoke movingly about his mother's dedication over 70 years.
you have met us and talked with us. You laugh and cry with us. And most importantly, you have been there for us for these 70 years.
And with the Queen watching from Windsor Castle,
So if we cheer loudly enough, she might just hear us.
the Platinum Party at the Palace peaking with Diana Ross.
Like everybody is singing, and the Queen literally with earplugs and headphones lying in bed, and she's like cussing, and she's like, I just want to fall asleep. God damn, just go to bed, everyone. I have an early morning tomorrow.
The finale
They're
to
like
a
in
night
her-
the likes of which
like in her
we've
yard,
never
you know, in her
seen
backyard.
and may never see
She's
again.
inside,
In
and
London,
she's trying to
Early
sleep.
Walsh, 9 News.
And earlier in the day, Princess Anne stepped in for the Queen at the Epsom Derby. Her Majesty, an avid horse lover, watching the race from home at Windsor. The Cambridges also had a packed day, visiting rehearsals for a Jubilee concert at Cardiff Castle. Princess Charlotte having a go at conducting an orchestra. Well, the UK is now waking up to the last day of Jubilee celebrations, and it is set to be a spectacular finale. Our Europe correspondent Brett McLeod explains.
Well, how do you top the concert of a lifetime? In a few hours' time, they are going to try to do that here once again in the Mall. It'll be lined by tens of thousands of people, and there'll be thousands of performers taking part in a pageant over 3 kilometres long, with massive displays including a giant wedding cake, a huge Lady Godiva, and a dragon the size of a double-decker bus floating
What
towards
is he
Buckingham
saying?
Palace.
Double-decker
Ed
what?
Sheeran will wrap up the day with a special concert, and then the hope is that the last person who'll be seen will
sorry.
be Her Majesty herself, standing on the balcony, and by her side, Princes Charles, William and George, the monarch and her successors.
A double-decker bus.
Well, here in Melbourne, a small but passionate collection of royalists and expats have toasted Her
I heard
Majesty,
double-decker
as
bus.
Elizabeth Moss discovered, from pork pies to a parade of corgis. There was no shortage of reasons to celebrate.
Union Jacks proudly displayed, the windows
ignore
lined
me.
with bunting. You'd be forgiven for thinking you were on the Mall. But this
Sausages!
is a
All
long
haram.
way from Buckingham Palace. It's Dandenong, to be
God.
exact.
I want to eat all of
Rob
this
Boyle's
food.
Butcher Shop has everything you need for a Jubilee party. Everything British, that is.
Yeah, I want everything British.
Over 1,000.
Not
All
everything,
handmade. This
everything.
is big. It's been massive. Biggest surprise how big it was.
From sausages to Scotch eggs, trifle, even Bakewell tarts, in just 2 days he's made more than a week's worth of takings. That in itself worth celebrating. If you can't tell, Bob originally hails from Newark, to be exact, and believe it or not, he hasn't been back since he moved here in the 80s. But that hasn't stopped him from getting into the festivities.
It lifts the mundaneness of everyday life. It just lifts people.
Spirits high in Malvern too. Toasting
The Queen!
the longest
Oh my God, this
serving
should be
monarch in
always
British
like
history.
this. Not
For
only the 1
70
week of
years,
celebration.
I bet anybody watching this can't think of anyone else who's been doing the same job for 70 years and doing it so well.
And Flinders Street, a meet-up Her Majesty would definitely approve of. Dozens of corgis dolled up in their finest for the occasion.
A fleet of corgis.
At South Yarra, this chapel filled with the songs from her 1953 coronation service. In Sydney, former Prime Minister and UK trade advisor Tony Abbott attended a Jubilee church service. In Brisbane, it was high tea at the Botanic Gardens, with a few familiar faces too. Admittedly close to 17,000 kilometres away from Windsor Castle, here it's safe to say opinions are divided. Are you a fan of the Royals?
Not really. Not a royalist, no, but as soon as the corgis come out.
But of course, most Brits need little convincing.
The English do anything for a party, you know that.
And Elizabeth Moss
The
is
English
live
would do
for us
anything
at
for
a very
parties.
colourful
And then
Flinders Street station
he said,
tonight.
You know that, and then they muted anything he said after that. Okay.
Lizzie,
All
tributes are continuing.
They are, Alicia. The station itself, as you can see, bathed in that beautiful royal purple for the Platinum Jubilee. It's one of several landmarks across our city lit up tonight, including the MCG. Many of these places, of course, visited by Her Majesty when she was here.
Do that more often.
1954, the station was decked out ahead of the royal visit, and a lot of people remember when the Queen boarded a tram here in the CBD. Now, this is far from the steps of the palace, but in Melbourne, you can't get a more beautiful tribute than this.
Very well said. Elizabeth Moss there, thank you.
I really love the fact that they add these futuristic lights to an old building, historical buildings. You have a lot of such buildings here in Germany as well. And I wish they did that more like in the center of the city where they have these LED lights and stuff and they can change them all the time, because we are in the future, you know, but also like you have these past buildings, but you can use it somehow to make it so pretty. The pink color, like I wish I have pink and cyberpunk kind of feeling on these buildings when I walk around. All right, let's see the last video for the Jubilee. This one is for me basically more important than anyone out there. It's because this is a message from King of Jordan, and this is my king as well, because I was born in Jordan. I lived there for 13 years. My father is Jordanian. My mother is Bosnian, and I love my king, so I want to see what he has to say about it.
Now, the King of Jordan has described Queen Elizabeth as a beacon of light and hope in an exclusive interview with the BBC to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. King Abdullah II said the Queen set a high moral standard in public life and held a special place in the heart of his family. Our royal correspondent Daniela Relf reports from Amman in Jordan.
This is where I was born, guys. This is where I lived for 13 years of my life. This is a part of me that's gonna be forever there. This is the old city, so I like none of these buildings I wasn't living in any of these buildings. I was living in Amman, the center. This is the more old town, you know, this is the old town. And it's very specific because of all these buildings that are on top of each other on a mountain. And you have, as well as you can see, this is from Jarash, which is a Roman time thing where they had this concert thing, or I don't know, maybe it was back in the day, like, I don't know what this is called. Yeah, everything is desert color there. All the buildings are in the same sandy color because everything they make is the sand color. Colosseum, thank you. This is the Colosseum here, as you can see, what is left of it.
Crowded landscape of Amman in Jordan. For generations, the bond between this country's royal family and British royalty has been strong.
Hello. How are you?
Something the current King of Jordan, Abdullah II, reflected on as we spoke about his lifelong family friend, the Queen.
As king, you are in a unique position to observe the reign of another monarch. I wonder how you view the Queen's 70 years on the throne.
I think with a lot of humility. My late father, His Majesty King Hussein, became a monarch the same year as Her Majesty.
This is the King's
special relationship
father.
that
This was his father.
They had is something that we inherited and we grew up with. But to think of what she has seen in her life and the standard that she has, I think, held as a monarch is an example for all of us. So for me, it's just, I'm honored to be part of that story, to have seen that special relationship between my father and her, between myself and Her Majesty, and
but
His
come
Royal
on,
Highness
guys.
Prince Charles.
You gotta admit, though, my queen looks so pretty. Look at her.
and Her Majesty and His Royal Highness Prince Charles, and now a wonderful young man, Prince William, who's a friend of my son. So this is a historical relationship that we're very, very proud of.
What are the attributes that she has that have largely made her reign so successful?
I think, when you look at Her Majesty, you look at consistency, and I think putting the moral bar at the highest point possible. She has dedicated herself to the monarchy and to the people. And as we have all experienced, sometimes you say things or have to take positions that may not necessarily be popular, but is the right thing. And I think that moral compass, if you look at her reign, is I think what has really made her shine compared to monarchies elsewhere.
And as King, you know what it's like to live your life in the public eye and the challenges that brings. How difficult is that aspect of the job? The Queen has had a difficult few years. How difficult is it to live life so publicly in all its challenges?
Immensely difficult, because you're always under the microscope. And again, I think that when you look at how Her Majesty has typified her rule is, again, that moral compass of feeling I'm here to serve the people. My life is under a microscope. But I will not shy away from my responsibility as a monarch. And to hold that bar as high as she has, I think is just a testament of who she is.
What lessons are there to be learned from the Queen's reign?
If you look at 70 years of British history, you've had good days and bad days. Her Majesty, I think, was a beacon of light of hope and continues to be, I believe, for your nation and for many of us around the world.
And finally, can I ask you if you have a message for the Queen in this Platinum Jubilee, such a historic moment for the UK?
In our own humble way, as the son of one of her closest friends, His Majesty King Hussein, I just say congratulations on just a remarkable 70 years of what you've done for your nation, for your people. I am very proud in a small way to have that relationship with Her Majesty and with your country. And our heart is always going to have a very big and warm place for Her Majesty the Queen.
King Abdullah, thank you very much for talking to the BBC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said.
King of Jordan, they're speaking to Daniela Rowe first.
Thank you. That was so sweet. All right. Holy moly, if you want to visit an Arab country in the Middle East, Jordan is the way to go. It's a smaller country, so it's very much easier to visit everything that you want to visit in a couple of days. And it's very, very historical. It has a lot of things to see that are, whether it is a religious holiday or it is just a historical holiday, basically. You can see a lot of things. And you have one of the world wonders as well, which is the Petra in Jordan. One of the best things to visit: Petra, Wadi Rum, Aqaba, Jarrah, Shamman, all of these places, and the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point on earth. So you have two factual things that are very cool for anyone out there, any adventurous, any enthusiast. The lowest point on earth and one of the world wonders both exist in Jordan. So there we go.
You are a summer and after fall.